Really? Good evening.
Good evening. It's exciting to look out here and see so many faces, so we think we ought to hand out certificates at every single meeting, get everybody here. I think there's still people in the hallway coming in, so just give us just a second here to get everybody in. Okay. Thank you. The Board of Trustees of Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District is now convened in a regular meeting on Monday, May the 13th, 2013, in the boardroom of the Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District Instructional Support Center, 10,300 Jones Road, Houston, Texas, at 6 o'clock p.m. I want to welcome members of our audience and our television viewers to this meeting of the Board of Trustees. As the Cypress-Fairbanks Board of Trustees, we are here to set goals, listen to reports from the superintendent, approve budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and make policy for the district. It is not the role of the board to make day-to-day operational decisions. The management and day-to-day operations of the district are the responsibility of the superintendent. We have policies and procedures in place to resolve concerns and issues. This is a public meeting of the Board of Trustees, not a meeting of the public. Prior to this meeting, board members received information related to items on tonight's agenda. Agenda items will not necessarily be handled in the order listed on the notice. The meeting is open to all who wish to attend and hear the matters discussed. During the course of this meeting, the board may determine that a closed session is necessary. In that event, the board will meet in closed session to consider matters duly posted for this meeting as permitted by Section 551.071 to 551.084 inclusive of the Texas Government Code. These proceedings are airing live on CFTV Channel 16 and CFTV online on the district website. They will also be rebroadcast throughout the month on Channel 16 and available as video on demand on the website. For the tape to adequately reflect the proceedings, I respectfully ask that you please refrain from talking while others are speaking and that cell phones are turned off or in silent mode. So reach in your pocket and let's turn them off. Thank you for taking time to join us this evening and for your interest in Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District. Tonight's invocation will be presented by Teresa Hull, Associate Superintendent for Governmental Relations, Communications, and Chief of Staff. Cy-Fair High School JROTC cadets presenting the flag for the Pledge of Allegiance are Parker Weinbrenner, Jackson Gilbreth, Kevin Schreiber, Thomas Dragsbeck, and sponsors are Captain Scott Thomas and Senior Master Sergeant Michael Claiborne. Please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, we are so grateful for the blessings you have provided for our students and staff this year. We thank you for the dedicated staff who put children first. We thank you for community supporters who are dedicated to the district. Tonight we are recognizing many students and their teachers who have taken the gifts you have provided them and added their own hard work in order to excel. These teachers and students remind us of our purpose and mission to all the students in the district, regardless of their circumstances or background. And God, we ask that you watch over our students and staff during these last few weeks of school, graduations, and celebrations. As they work, travel, and rest over the summer months, please keep them all safe. As we always do, we ask you to protect our servicemen and women, and we pray for peace in our world. Amen.
Amen.
Please remain standing for the presentation of the flags. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, arms, oaths.
You may be seated.
Board Member Tom Jackson will read the district's vision and mission statement for the benefit of the audience. Mr. Jackson.
The Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District will be an exemplary educational community dedicated to the highest standards of quality at all levels and in all areas of endeavor. All students, parents, community members, and district employees, respecting and valuing each other, will be committed to providing all students with an education which enables them to live successfully in an ever-changing society. The district will provide the environment and learning opportunities for all students so that as graduates, they will possess the qualities which will enable them to live meaningfully and successfully in society and in the workplace. The graduate will be an effective communicator, a competent problem solver, a self-directed learner, a responsible citizen, and a quality producer. This is the portrait of the Cypress-Fairbanks graduate.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Tonight, our AVP students are from Cypress Ridge High School. They are Miguel Vargas, Peter Lee, Anthony Slaughter, Adriana McDonald, and the AVP sponsor is Kylie Harris. Also joining us tonight, we have a Scout Troop number 747. If you're out there, Scouts, would you stand up? Or are you already standing? Raise your hand so we can see you. There you go. Thank you all for being here. We also have some CLC, our Community Leadership Committee, but since there's so many friendly faces out there, we're not sure which ones are on that committee. If you're on that committee, would you raise your hand or stand up, please? There's one in the back. There's two. Thank you all for being here. I'm sorry. Okay. Go ahead, Doctor.
Since we have several empty seats with people who haven't made it, please feel free, even if it's reserved, to fill in those seats at this time.
Yeah, go ahead. The offering doesn't start for a while. Never. Okay, we will now move on to this evening's special recognitions portion of the agenda. A, the board recognized students who placed first in the University of Texas at Dallas ACM High School Programming Contest. Presenter is Sharon Hogue.
Mr. Covey, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Henry, we're delighted to present to you this evening the first place winners from the University of Texas at Dallas ACM High School Programming Contest. Approximately 60 students from across Texas traveled to Dallas to compete. Teams were given 3 hours to solve 7 challenging programming problems. The Cypress Wood High School Computer Science team finished all 7 problems in 56 minutes and won first place in the advanced division. Our first place students were not able to attend this evening, but their names are Nikolai Cartagena, Ben Lynn, Andrew Liu. The teachers are Stacy Armstrong, Kathy Austin, and Ryan Nutt. As we congratulate these students, we'd like their parents, principals, and teachers to please stand and be recognized. And we thank the board and Dr. Henry for honoring our incredibly talented computer science students this evening.
The board will recognize students who won silver medals at the Scholastic Art and Writing Awards. Presenter is Christy, and forgive me, Christy, is it Timlitz? Thank you. Dr. Henry was right. That's 3 times today.
Good evening, Mr. Covey, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Henry. It is a pleasure to present to you this evening. The National 2013 Scholastic Art and Writing Awards is a program sponsored regionally by the Harris County Department of Education. This year, the contest had 230,000 entries from 7th to 12th grade in this 90-year-old national contest that recognizes outstanding and creative teens. Tonight, I would like to congratulate Taylor McCaslin, a Langham Creek senior, for winning a silver medal in the personal essay category. This is a very impressive honor, and we are very proud of Taylor.
Oh, yeah, I've got that one down.
I would just like to add that I was chatting with Taylor earlier, and she will be going to the Savannah College of Art and Design. I would also like to recognize and thank Taylor's English teacher, Mrs. Lauren Cervantes. Thank you.
Is any of Taylor's family here?
I'll stand up.
Stand up. Y'all stand up over there and we can applaud you too. The board will recognize students who were selected and participated in Texas Music Educators All-State Band, Choir, and Orchestra. Presenter is Larry Matichak.
President Covey, Dr. Henry, members of the board, tonight we are recognizing music students that have been selected for membership in 2013 TMA All-State Bands, Choirs, and Orchestra. This is the highest honor a student may achieve in music in Texas. The process begins in November when thousands of music students across Texas compete in head-to-head competition. The students advance from region to area and finally the all-state level. Less than 1% of all music students in Texas achieve this status. Students who are selected participate in the TMEA annual convention held in San Antonio. They perform and rehearse with their respective groups, and they have to go through another audition and assign chairs. It is difficult to achieve this honor, and many colleges and universities award scholarships to these all-state musicians. This year we are fortunate to have 43 Cy-Fair students selected for an all-state group. These students have been awarded certificates of achievement by the board, which will be passed out by the directors. I will call the students' names by school to be recognized. And students, if you will come up here and in marching band terms make an arc, and we will, okay. From Cy-Fair High School, we have Maddie King, Julie Yu, Omar Soto. Cy Creek High School, Michael Crocker. Cy Falls High School, Melissa Dew, Lauren Lafferty, Marguerite Levine, Jordan Savela, Michael Fortner, Thomas Kang, and Evan Moynihan. They have a performance tonight anyway. Cy Ranch, we have Caroline Compton, Kat Galagaza, Akshay Daga, David Jew, Matt Pham, Ryan Willis, and Avery Yabernetsky. Cy Ridge High School, Andrea Montano and Dustin Wong. Cy Springs High School, we have Carla Garcia and Brian Maynard. Cypress Woods High School, Sushi Chang, Amanda Curry, Allison Dooley, Colin Gay, Blake Patterson, Matthew Stevens, Luke Sang, And from Jersey Village, Tracer Brill, Gerald Camo, Caleb Knight, Jason Luo, Thomas Wynn, Roland Rodriguez, Jake Woodson, and from Lame Creek High School, Jessica Brannis, Dakota Crespo, Leah Douglas, Jennifer Turlow, Dylan Cox, Brandon Melendez, and Kyle Smith. We'd like to congratulate all these students on this high level of discipline and musicianship. At this time, I'd like to recognize the music directors that I see standing back there in a very formal setting, and any administrators from there. Would you please give them a round of applause for the fine work they've done with these students? And lastly, of course, we'd like to thank parents and relatives of these students who have supported them through this process emotionally and also financially. Thank you very much. Students having attended the All-State concerts, I want to thank you for outstanding performances and all your dedication to the music program in Cy-Fair. Thank you very much.
The board will now recognize Ann Gill, Cy-Fair High School, for being selected to receive the 2013 Outstanding Biology Teacher Award from the National Association of Biology Teachers. Presenter is Deborah Hill.
Good evening, Mr. Covey, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Henry. As Coordinator of Secondary Science, I am honored to recognize current Cy-Fair High School AP Biology teacher Ann Gill. Every year, the National Biology Teachers Association recognizes an outstanding secondary biology educator in each of the 50 states. The Outstanding Biology Teacher Award is a national-level award and is one of the highest honors a high school biology teacher can receive. The National Selection Committee was unanimous in selecting Ann Gill for this honor. Ann, a graduate of Texas A&M, has taught at Cy-Fair High School for 10 years. During the last 8 years, she has taught AP Biology and Honors Chemistry. As an Outstanding Biology Teacher Award recipient, Ann will be a special guest at the Honors Luncheon held in November at the National Biology Teachers Association meeting in Atlanta, Georgia. Please join me in congratulating and recognizing Ann for receiving this honorable reward. Thank you.
The board will recognize that Don Ryan actually knew the science teacher. The board will recognize students who placed on the following state and national art and photo competitions: Visual Arts Scholastic Event and the National Scholastic Art Awards. Presenter, Sarah Sanders.
Mr. Covey, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Henry, I am delighted to present to you this evening these students from 10 of our high schools who have distinguished themselves in 2 art and photography competitions. The majority of these honors are for the Visual Arts Scholastic Event, better known as VACE, and is to the art student what UIL is to athletics and music. VACE is a standards-based competition that allows individual students the opportunity to discuss and analyze their artwork during a one-on-one interview with a professional art juror. From the 24,000 entries submitted this year from across Texas, only 1,500 images advanced to the state level. 45 of those images are from our district. And of those 45, 34 received a superior rating, which is equivalent to a first place, and 11 received an excellent rating, which equates to a second place. In addition, 4 of our students also received a Gold Seal medal. These works are considered to be the very best representations of the standards and objectives in the VACE program and are exemplary in concept, technique, craftsmanship, and creativity. These 4 winning entries will tour the state for 1 year. The second competition is the National Scholastic Art and Writing Awards program, which celebrates outstanding work and commitment of young artists and writers. Cypress-Fairbanks sent 22 visual images to New York City as Gold Key Regional winners, and we returned with 4 National Silver Medal Award winners and 2 National Gold Medal winners, one of which received a $10,000 cash scholarship for her art portfolio. The 2 Gold Key works of art will be on display in New York through June. Our first group of winning students is from Cy-Fair High School. Students, as I call your name, please come forward and remain at the front until all students are called from your school. And we'll form that music arc just like the music folks did. From Cy-Fair High School, we have teachers represented, or students represented from teachers Earl Emery and Lori Emery. And if you'll notice on the monitor, we're going to show the artwork. So we have Iman Abdul Razak. He is a senior, and he received a Superior and a Gold Seal for his digital piece, Last Ones. Karina Filipovich, she is a junior, and she received a Superior for her digital piece, Stuck. So Karina, if you will come on up front, and just start right over there, hon. We have Breanne Gilpin, a sophomore, received an excellent for her photo, Sydney. Kevin Martinez, a senior, received a Superior for her digital art and media piece, Ignorance, and also a Gold Seal. Jolie McDonald, a sophomore, received a Superior and a Gold Seal for her photo, A Miss. From Cy Creek, we have Savannah Fortune, a junior, received a Superior for her photo, Love Sign. Pilar Rodriguez, a sophomore, received a Superior for her drawing, Reflection. From Cy Falls, we have Leah Badalik, is a senior, and she received a National Scholastic Art Gold Medal for her art portfolio, which is a series of artworks. And this is the student who also won the $10,000 cash scholarship. Also from Cy Falls, we have Cassie Guidry. She's a senior, and she received a Superior for her digital piece, Pesky Pixies. Try to say that 10 times. And then from Cy Lakes, we have Jose Pescador. He is a junior, and he received a Superior for his painting, Running Water. And Jose? And then we have from Cy Ranch, Catherine Garner, a sophomore, received an excellent for her digital piece, Into Emerald Meadows. Jesse Harrick, a freshman, received a Superior for her, his photo, Tree Me. Miranda Jankovic, a senior, received an excellent for her digital piece, Bubble Grid. Savannah Knight, a junior, received a Superior for her photo, Wanderlust. Mike Lee, a freshman, received a Superior for his photo, Ferris Wheel. And Jacob Moffett, a junior, received a Superior for the digital piece, Paperboy. Macy Partain, a sophomore, received 2 awards. One is a Superior for the mixed media piece, Good Fortune, and also an excellent for a mixed media piece, Coffee Stain. From Cy Ridge, we have teachers Lauren McCluskey and Claire Vining, and our students are Joshua Hernandez, a senior who received a Superior for her sculpture, Creation of Man. Grace Lee, a senior, received a Superior for the mixed media piece, Reflection of Me. From Cy Springs, we have teachers Tina Garner and Denise Schilling. Those students are Cristal Arvizu, a junior, received a superior for the photo Fish Out of Water, and Diana Castillo, a senior, received a superior for her ceramic piece Water Skin Relic. From Cy Woods, we have teachers Tina Fox, Juan Guevara, and Charlotte Stewart, and the students are Annie Beam, a sophomore, received an excellent for her sculpture Cassandra. Jonathan Carneiro, a freshman, received 2 awards, a superior for a sculpture Stanley the Mammoth, and also an excellent for the sculpture Hello Communication. Christian Doyle, a junior, received 2 awards. One is a superior for the painting Italian Church on Cliff, and also an excellent for the drawing Madison with Hatching. Nicole Faniff, a junior, received a superior for her mixed media piece Facial Woodburn. Christine Gallegos, a senior, received a superior for the photo In Point. Amelia Haddad, a junior, received a superior for the photo Uncertainty. And I think Amelia's here, or are you already up here? Okay. Then Pedro Enriquez, a sophomore, received a superior for the digital piece Shaded Fears. Darcy Hinton, a sophomore, received a superior for the ceramic piece Skeleton. Megan Horner, a senior, received a superior and a gold seal for her photo Broken. Kenzie Miller, a sophomore, received an excellent for the ceramic piece Wonderland. Nicholas Wynn, a sophomore, received a superior for mixed media Mom. Laura Nunez, a senior, received an excellent for the digital piece El Petalo. Deshawn Ozuna, a junior, received a superior for the mixed media piece Ozuna in watercolor. Emily Payne, a sophomore, received a superior for the painting Crusty Car. Simon Purrington, a sophomore, received a National Scholastic Art Gold Medal for the photo Invisible Graffiti. Ian Randall, a senior, received 2 awards, both superiors. The first one is for a digital piece, Newberry, and then for a photo, Where's My Son? Tiffany Robles, a senior, received an excellent for the digital art and media piece, The Ocean. Niajar Settler, a junior, received a superior for sculpture, Skeleton of Memories. Lauren Thawley, a senior, received 2 awards, one in vase for the superior photo, Framing Downtown, and also a National Scholastic Arts Silver Medal for her art portfolio. Arena Trular, a sophomore, received a superior for her photo, Toxic Pool. And from Jersey Village, we have teachers Alana Jordan and Deborah Wheeler. Our students are Brandon Harris, a junior, received a National Scholastic Arts Silver Medal for the photo Antiques. And then Fap Lee, a junior, received an excellent for the ceramic piece Fierce. Mason Pafford, a sophomore, received a superior for his ceramic piece Loss of Spirit. And Brady Rodriguez, a junior, received a National Scholastic Art and Silver Medal for the photo Self-Portrait with Veils. And from Langham Creek, we have teacher Laura Nelson, and the student is Taylor McCaslin. Once again, she comes forward, and she received a National Scholastic Arts Silver Medal for her drawing Disaster Cat. So may we have the family, friends, teachers, and principals of these students please stand? Thank you. And as we congratulate these exceptional artists, we would like to thank their parents, friends, and teachers for providing the support so necessary for their achievements. So thank you, students. You may be seated. And we thank the board and Dr. Henry for honoring our incredibly talented visual arts students this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Anders. The board will recognize students who place first or second in the Skills USA Texas State Conference Cosmetology Competition. Presenter is Sharon Hogue.
Board of Trustees, Dr. Henry, Mr. Covey, thank you for letting us come tonight, and we're delighted to present this evening the best of show first and second place winners from the Skills USA Texas State Conference Cosmetology Competition that was held in Corpus Christi, Texas on April 5 through 6. I would ask the honorees to please come forward when their names are called. From Langham Creek High School, Zarissa LeBlanc is a junior in the category Evening Wear. Taylor Castleberry, category Innovation, is a junior. Caitlin Woods is also a junior in the category Braiding. Marissa Lura in the category Innovation. Destiny Jackson in the category Fantasy Hairstyling, and the title was Tin Man. She's a senior. Sheila Perez is a junior in the category Fantasy Hairstyling, and the title was DJ Turntable. Danielle Berry in the category Innovation. Marissa Garcia in the category Innovation. Both of those ladies are seniors. And Vinny Rodriguez in the category of Evening Wear. Their teacher is Lynette Smith. From Cypress Creek High School, we had Vivian Alcantar, a senior, Brittany Sherwood, a senior, and Marlon Zamora, a senior. Their teacher was Frankie Jackson. From Cy Ranch High School, the teacher's Nicole Bibbs. We have Kimberly Aziz. Her category was Fantasy Hairstyling. The title is Geisha Girl. Kylie Borjas, category Fantasy Hairstyling. The title was Dia de los Muertos. Andrea Charles, Fantasy Hairstyling. The title was Egyptian Queen. G. James, Fantasy Hairstyling, Mardi Gras. Marissa Lashley, Fantasy Hairstyling. The title was Catwoman. Jasmine Munoz, Peacock Girl in the Fantasy Hairstyling. Madeline Orisco, Fantasy Hairstyling. The title is Thumbelina. Heidi Stallman, Fantasy Hairstyling, Alice. We also have Shay Stewart, Fantasy Hairstyling, Fairy Princess. Danielle Stover, Fantasy Hairstyling, Dark Fairy. Brittany Swinburne, Fantasy Hairstyling, Lion Lady. Blanca Villagomez, Fantasy Hairstyling, Spider Woman. Maria Williams, Fantasy Hairstyling, Cindy Lou. Ashlyn Peters, Medusa. Cassidy Holtberg, Candy Girl in Fantasy Hairstyling. Hannah Halsey, Updo, the title is Wedding Day. Dominique Coy, Braiding, Nubian Queen. Stephanie Posada, Innovation Salon, called Uptown Curls. From Cy Springs High School, we have Kira Clark, Fantasy Hairstyling. The title is Star Wars. Abigail Coronado, in Makeup Application and Photo Panel Project. Carolina Davalos, Daytime Evening Hairstyling Techniques. Azariah Del Villar, in Manicure Procedures and Photo Panel Projects. Zariah Diaz, Fantasy Hairstyling Peacock. Alyssa Lopez, Makeup Application, Evening Photo Panel Project. Michelle Perrar, Nail Art Design, Outstanding Creativity. Estefany Perez, Makeup Application, Daytime Photo Panel Project. Nicholas Puch, Nail Art Design. Liliana Sanchez, Daytime Evening Hairstyle. Gina Santiago, Daytime Evening Hairstyle, and their teacher was Karen Williams. Our second place winners from Cy Creek is Amanda Martinez, a junior. Fantasy, the title is Ice Princess. Her teacher's Frankie Jackson. From Cy Ranch, we have Grace Groff. The category is Fantasy, the title is Gothic Cop, and the teacher's Nicole Bibbs. Students, we're very proud of you and the accomplishment that you've done, and as we congratulate these students, I'd like their teachers and their parents, family members, friends to please stand and be recognized. Thank you, students. You may be seated, and we thank the board and Dr. Henry for allowing our talented cosmetology students to be recognized tonight.
All I can say is if they really wanted a challenge, they could ask any of the men up here to be a model for them. So that's right. The board will move the recognition of Cypress Ranch High School Chamber Choir, who won the overall winner for the 2013 State Madrigal Festival competition, to our next meeting in June. Now the board will recognize Cypress Falls High School students who won Gold Circle Awards in the Columbia Scholastic Press Association Journalism Contest. Presenter is Jacqueline Lewis.
Hello. Good evening. President Covey, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Henry, as Journalism Coordinator for the district, it's my pleasure to present to you two students who have won Gold Circle Awards in the Columbia Scholastic Press Association Journalism Contest. This competition was part of the CSPA National Convention, which was held on March 22nd in New York City. The work of these student journalists was selected from many entries from all around the nation. Students, please come forward when your name is called. Leah LeBeau earned a Gold Circle Award for a video feature package on auto tech and cosmetology. Ms. LeBeau is a senior at Cy Falls High School, and I think she was unable to make it tonight. Zach Babb is also from Cy Falls High School, a senior, and he earned a Gold Circle Award for sports commentary on sportsmanship as well as sports feature on Eagle scholarships. He is also a senior at Cy Falls High School, and they were unable to make it tonight. So if those from Cypress Falls are family members of the students are here, would you please stand so we can recognize you for helping to support these very accomplished writers and also our journalism program. And I would like to thank the board for helping me to recognize these students who are not here.
Thanks, Ms. Lewis. The board will recognize CFISD Music Department on receiving a Best Communities for Music Education designation from the National Association of Music Merchants Foundation. The presenter is Dr. Linda Macias. I'm sorry, you don't look like Dr. Macias.
I'm starting it off, Mr. Covey.
You're starting it off.
I am.
Okay.
Yes. Mr. Covey, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Henry.
Don't think your mic's not on.
I'm not on?
Is it on?
Can you hear me now? Yes?
Must be my hearing aid. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. We are proud of the quality fine arts programs in our district and of the very dedicated and talented students and professionals that participate in these programs. We are extremely honored that the National Association of Music Merchants Foundation has recognized Cypress-Fairbanks ISD for its outstanding commitment to music education with the Best Communities for Music Education designation. I'd like to welcome Vince Chaponi to our district to make this presentation. Vince?
Thank you. Good evening, President Covey, Dr. Henry, and board. My name is Vince Chaponi. I'm the Director of Sales for Music and Arts in Texas and the Southwest. Before I get started, I just wanted to say what a great honor it is for me to be asked to be here tonight. So thank you very much for having me, and allowing me to speak in such a huge group. Just a little bit about my company. Music and Arts is the largest school music dealer in the United States. We have 108 stores nationwide. We have 16 here in Texas, and we have 5 right here in Houston. Our company's been around since 1952, and we've been serving music educators and all those who enjoy making music ever since. And again, we're really, really proud to be here in Texas. My company is a proud member of NAM, the National Association of Music Merchants, which is a not-for-profit association with a mission to strengthen and promote the pleasures and benefits of making music. In a nutshell, what NAM does is promotes making music. And along with 9,000 businesses in the international music instruments and products industry, they ensure that music is not only alive in our schools, but is thriving. And so that's kind of what NAM does. So I'm here representing those 9,000 businesses, along with my fellow NAM members and the NAM Foundation today. The NAM Foundation's Best Communities for Music Education initiative recognizes and celebrates communities and their school administrators, teachers, board members, parents, community leaders, and students for their support and their commitment to the arts in their schools. The program also acknowledges the community and district commitment to ensure that every single student can receive music education if they want it. In a record-breaking year for participation, the NAM Foundation designated 307 school districts across the country best communities for music education. In addition to the best community districts, there were 66 individual schools that earned the 2013 Support Music Merit Award for providing students with access to comprehensive music education. So I'm proud today, and we are proud, to present a certificate to Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District as one of the 2013 Best Communities for Music Education. Now, the Best Communities for Music Education program is a significant tool in the NAM Foundation's advocacy efforts on behalf of school-based music education. There have been lots and lots of studies that show that music makes you smarter. As a parent of students who attend music programs, I can tell you that for my kids, music has boosted their self-esteem, their self-confidence, and quite frankly, as a parent, it's helped in the rest of their studies too. So that's a great byproduct of music. Also, a music program is an instructional bargain. A NAM-funded cost of music education study found that a comprehensive K-12 music education program costs an average of $187 per student per year. So compare that with other courses that we teach in schools. It's probably a pretty good bargain. So from everyone at NAM and the NAM Foundation and everyone at Music and Arts, I'd like to say congratulations to Cypress-Fairbanks, and thank you all very, very much for everything that you do. We wish you a lot of luck in the future, and keep cranking out those great music students. Mr. Matashak. And I actually have 2 awards.
The board will recognize the annual top volume buyer for the 2013 CFISD Livestock Show and Sale. Presenter is Denise Kubeka.
Mr. Covey, Board of Trustees, Dr. Henry, it's my pleasure to present to you some members of the community that have gone above and beyond to support the students in our Ag Science Education program. My peers before me have sung the praises of many of our students, and now it's time for our students to return and give thanks. At the 2013 CFISD Livestock Sale in February, our community pledged almost $700,000. $63,050 of that came from Sam and Peggy Frugi of Crane Rental Division Incorporated, including the record-setting $40,000 bid for the Grand Champion steer. While the 14 students from whom they bought projects have already thanked them individually, on behalf of the CFISD Livestock Show Association as a whole, we would like to present them with the 7th annual volume buyer buckle and blanket. So if I can get our FFA members to come forward. Presenting the buckle and blanket tonight are representatives from several of our high school FFA chapters. They represent the approximately 500 students that showed over 700 projects at this year's show. If you've never been to our district livestock show, I encourage you to mark your calendars for the end of January and join us at the exhibit center. Right now, we have Mr. and Mrs. Frugi, who could not be here tonight, but we do have some of their family members, their daughter and grandson, Angela and Tanner Francione. Would you come forward? Along with Brianna Areola, who's vice president of the Cy Falls FFA chapter, for which they belong. We also have some of our high school ag science teachers in the audience tonight to show their appreciation as well. Would those teachers stand or kind of wave? Get all over. And I now invite you all to join me once again to thank the Frugi family, Crane Rental Division Incorporated, and all of the other community members who make a difference in the lives of our students by getting involved. Thank you.
Okay, well, we would, number one, the board really recognizes and appreciates what these students do. It makes everybody's job just worthwhile. We're going to take a little break here for about 10 minutes to give everybody a chance to, all those that really want to leave. If you want to stay and listen, you're welcome to do that. About a 10-minute break, please. The superintendent will make remarks and announcements, including the honors and achievements earned by staff and students in recent weeks. Dr. Henry?
Thank you, Mr. President, and certainly it was an honor this evening to recognize all the accomplishments in athletics, arts, agriculture, and of course our outstanding staff here in CFISD. And there's many other notable achievements that I'd like to announce at this time. Roy Garcia, over here to my left, Associate Superintendent for School Administration and Leadership, was elected to the Board of Directors for the Texas Association for Supervision and Curriculum Development, and certainly we congratulate Roy for that. McPhee Elementary was recently accepted as a No Excuses University, joining elementary and middle school campuses across the U.S. that promote a model of college readiness at their school. The American School Board Journal named CFISD's New Arrival Center program as one of 15 honorable mention recipients in the 19th Annual Magna Awards program. Cy Lakes Indoor Percussion Drumline placed first in the Scholastic Marching AA class of the 2013 Texas Color Guard Circuit Championship. Seated in 5th place, they jumped from 5th to 1st place. Team Cy Woods won the District 17 5A Academic Spring Meet with Cy Creek placing 2nd and Cy Falls 3rd. The event included speech and debate, a computer science contest, and a one-act play competition. 4 teams from Cy-Fair ISD placed at state and are headed to Destination Imagination Global Finals in Knoxville, Tennessee later this month. Winning teams are from Robinson Elementary, Hamilton and Spillane Middle Schools, and Cy Ranch High School. CFISD middle and high school students recently competed in the State Science Olympiad. Cy Ranch placed first at the Gulf Coast Regional Tournament to qualify for state. CFISD is the #1 school district in the state for academic and financial performance according to the Education Resource Group report. CFISD also ranked 3rd in the FPI and 25th in the API ratings, which basically means that Cy-Fair ISD has the highest academic performance with the most efficiency in the entire state of Texas, and the Education Resource Group is an independent agent, and we're extremely proud of that award. Cy-Fair head baseball coach Woody Champagne celebrated his 600th career victory in April, and Cy Ridge head football coach and athletic coordinator Gary Thiebaud was inducted into the Greater Houston Football Coaches Association Hall of Honor in May. Cy Ranch senior Courtney Anderson brought home a silver medal at the state tennis tournament in the girls' single competition. The district softball season has ended with Cy-Fair winning district, Cy Falls placing 2nd, Cy Woods 3rd, and Cy Lakes 4th. All teams won their by-district playoffs and advanced to area playoffs, and Cy-Fair and Cy Lakes advanced to regionals last weekend. Cy-Fair boys and Cy Woods girls won the district championship in golf. Placing 2nd for boys was Cy Woods, and 2nd for girls was Cy-Fair. Cy-Fair boys won 2nd at regionals and advanced to state, where they finished their season as regional semifinalists. In boys track, Cy Springs placed 1st, Langham Creek 2nd, and Cy Ranch 3rd. In girls track, Cy Creek was district champion, with Cy Ridge placing 2nd, and Cy-Fair placing 3rd. Over 150 CFISD students advanced to regionals, where Cy Springs placed 2nd for boys, and Cy Creek girls placed 1st, Langham Creek 2nd, and Cy Springs 3rd. We sent 4 boys and 17 girls to state this past weekend, and although we'll have those results posted soon, we did bring home 3 medals at the state track meet. In baseball, the district champions are the Cy Ranch Mustangs with Jersey Village 2nd and Cy Woods 3rd. These, along with Cy Falls, won their by-district playoffs and advanced to the area round. In water polo, Jersey Village girls and boys teams won the Texas Interscholastic Swimming Coaches Association regionals and each placed in the top 5 in state. Congratulations to all of our talented students, teachers, and staff. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Henry. At this point, any board member may make a comment during this portion of the agenda without prior posting being required. Comment items may not pertain to the character of any student, staff, or board member and may not be discussed or deliberated upon at this time. That's a tough word, deliberated. Okay, we'll start down at this end. Mr. Hoffman? Nothing? Ms. Hartley?
Thank you. I wanted to say thank you to all of our teachers and our principals so far with all of the STAR testing. I'm very thankful that Austin is paying attention, because I've had several students this past week say, why are we still in school? We're done with the STAR. And one, that's sad that they feel that, and two, that the teachers and the principals and everybody because of government has to focus so much on this. And I thank all the teachers who are still working hard and doing things with our kids and engaging our kids, because it's not about a test. It's about their education. And second, I was watching the board meeting this morning, and I was excited to see that extra money that could be coming to us. And I appreciated that in the plan that there was a focus on technology and awareness about technology. I think it's real important that we pay attention to what our students are able to do at home and the kind of technology they have at home, and that it needs to be, if they do a project at home, that they can bring it to school and we have this, we have the similar technology, and that things will work from home to school. So I really appreciate that technology as a focus in that upcoming plan. So thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Hartley. Mr. Ryan, anything? No. Ms. Mingoya.
I wanted to just have a brief comment about a very inspiring Cy-Fair ISD teacher. 9 years ago, Monique James was a new mom with no job and no college education, but she decided she wanted to have a career, so she enrolled at Lone Star College North Harris for her associate's degree. Several years later, including many developmental math classes, she earned that degree and decided that she would get a teacher's degree by enrolling in a cohort program with University of Houston Downtown and Lone Star College Cy-Fair. Is it working? So while she earned this degree, she was an aide, and she worked very hard and got her bachelor's degree, and now she's a teacher at Emory. And we had heard about her story, so we asked her to speak at our gala last month. And it was very inspiring for everyone because she talked a lot about how she did everything so that she could tell her students the real ways and the real struggles that she had to go through in order to learn. And when she was finished speaking, the whole audience was inspired, but one person in the audience was motivated in a way that I thought was very extraordinary, and that was University of Houston Downtown President Dr. Bill Flores, and he offered Miss James a full ride on her master's degree. So a teacher, isn't that neat? I thought that was very neat. So a teacher that is here in Cy-Fair that is working every day with our students and inspiring them and telling them how important it is to learn was recognized and will be getting her master's degree so she can do even more with her students. That's the kind of teachers we have here in Cy-Fair.
Thanks, Ms. McCoy. Nothing but Dr. Ogletree. Mr. Jackson?
Bob, regretfully, I did ask every board member if they would loan me their words. I was denied by all, so I need to get a loan tonight. But I assure you that Fed Chairman Bernanke would call it a stimulus.
A stimulus, yeah.
Patrons of the district, your board members collectively gave in excess of 500 volunteer hours between last board meeting and tonight. I think that's a significant contribution. I finished my allotment of 14 school visits this spring and shared most of my observations previously. I must repeat my comments regarding one school, that being Joel Elementary, who I found to be a high-performing school based upon a 3-year review of their test scores in appreciation of the application of best practices as explained by their principal, as well as a fervent desire to leave no child behind. A well-respected group who counts school superintendents among their board members gave this school their next to lowest grade. Upon my review of the facts once again, I believe a reporting travesty has been committed, and I would ask management to comment on this.
I think Dr. Macias is going to comment.
You might do that. Can we do that now?
But if we have to do it during the regular board meeting, I can bring it up. I have a spot in the agenda for it. Would you prefer? Yes.
I think it's better then, yes.
Okay.
Bob and I attended the VIPS luncheon and work sessions. A trademark of a superior enterprise is one that constantly invests in its personnel. Management's commitment to the ongoing training of our volunteers is a mark of excellence, and I am confident the investment is repaid manyfold. Our VIPs are truly one of the treasures of this district, and I am proud to be permitted to wear your pin. The Cy-Fair Chamber of Commerce is in its 27th year and is guided by its 5th president, Miss Leslie Martone, who is with us this evening, dressed in green. The Chamber is a strong supporter of K-16 education for all children, but recognizes that over 95% of K-12 is served by Cy-Fair, which is also the largest employer within the Chamber. Leslie is constantly engaged with legislative issues supporting K-16, representing educational interests of business on the CLC, building relationships with other chambers and governmental entities on behalf of education, as well as other business concerns that enhance our quality of life. I would be remiss if I ignored my colleague, Ms. Darcy Mingoya, who served as a chamber president for 9 years. And so tonight, I tip my hat to Ms. Martone, who our legislative delegation knows by a very special name. She spends so much time with them. The Chamber Board, its current and former officers, and its members. I thank you very much. Humming the chorus of American Pie, you have to be old enough to remember that song. I attended the Technology Festival, now in its 4th year. Each school had a fine display of student knowledge and technological application. The wow factor, quite frankly, was everywhere. Starting with a kindergarten Twitter to Canadian students led by Miss Lowe of Metcalf, going to smartboard student projects at a middle school, contrast that with poster board projects that many of us did in our youth. It's now changed. Or the open source software development by a dean student, who I don't know if I have permission to use his name tonight, but dean faculty, you'll know who I'm talking about, who was teaching his elders on how to build a computer and then take it apart again. Or moving on to the microgravity glove box created by Cypress Woods High School students as part of collaboration with NASA under a program called Hunch. And so I tip the wizard's hat to Harold, Becky Cook and her team, the Career and Technology Department, principal, staff, and students. As a board member, I will do my best to help ensure that when we drive the Cy-Fair Chevy to the technology levee, it will not be dry.
Good take. Good take.
For the past 8 years, I've been privileged to attend JROTC events in our district and have witnessed the ongoing growth of this value-added program to 900 cadets where it is today. I made 5 in-district stops this year and was impressed every step of the way. The program seeks to develop citizens of character dedicated to serving their nation and community. Many of the students in this program did not have an affiliation with other student organizations, and thus a need was addressed. I tip my tricorn to the colonels, majors, captains, chief, and sergeants for leading this program to national prominence and guiding our students on the path of leadership. The tricorn is also tipped to Miss Spillane, Miss Reedy, and the various veterans groups and patriotic organizations that help support this program. I would make special note of the American Legion, who this year sponsored 19 students to Boys and Girls States. That's a week-long program down in Austin. I also met another group of students again this year who are constantly striving to achieve and do their best at the Special Olympics night at the movies, themed banquet at Cy Ridge. And thus I tip the Oscar statue in the direction of Cynthia Macha, as well as the students, parents, and staff who spread smiles and the desire to achieve all around. I would note that Dr. Macias was photographed dancing with Elvis. I, with most of the board, attended training seminars at the National Conference and also the Gulf Coast Association. I'm proud to report that of the best practices upon display that we learned about, this district has incorporated all of those I observed, with the exception of those that require capital outlay. Of significant note, since our technology budget is empty, is across the country and around the state, there are many districts that are forging ahead with ongoing use of technology for the betterment of students and higher achievement by students. And that concludes my comments. Thank you.
Tom, the one thing I like about your comments is I usually jot down 6 words I've got to go home and look up. I was also going to comment on our attendance of the National School Board meeting in San Diego, and it's just amazing to me how our district, we go and listen to these wonderful programs people are putting on, and Tom is right. we're doing it. We're doing it here in Cy-Fair, and for a lot less money than what they're doing in other areas. I also want to thank Dr. Macias for actually putting together the presentation we did on the new arrival center. And unfortunately, it was in a bad slot, but it was still well received. Again, I attended the VIPS training with Tom, and we actually got there at noon. And the noon speaker was basically talking about what woman are you at this point in time, and Tom and I were a little confused. But we did choose one, and I think we're okay. And I want to actually thank the board right now, because we have taken upon ourselves, like we did last year, to visit each and every facility that we have. And when I talk to some of the districts that are in our size range and I tell them what we do, they all think it's a great idea and they may go back and do it themselves. But it's amazing how this board has taken it on and they do it. And it's also wonderful to see the reception we get in the schools and how great it is to see the teachers teaching and the kids learning. And that's what it's all about. The last thing is, and I'm going to tell the board this, the rigors, relevance, and relationship. I checked with TASB, and we actually can get some board credit if you want to attend that. There's a part of the trustee credit that can be furnished from the district itself, and I believe it's 2.5 credits that we can actually get. But you have to see Linda Macias and pay $750. Other than that, it's fine. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Anyway, that's all. Anybody got anything else? Okay, we're moving along. Patrons who are duly registered per policy BED local may address the board regarding matters of concern or interest to the district other than the character of any student, staff, or board member. I would like to remind the audience and the viewers that the comments of the speakers reflect their own positions or opinions. The board may not discuss or act upon any matter that is not listed under the action item portion of the agenda. Therefore, board members may not discuss the comments of speakers. Please understand that a lack of a response from board members does not indicate agreement or approval of the comments. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes to address the board. Mr. Tom Jackson, Secretary of the Board, will be our designated timekeeper. If you have not spoken before, if you will come up to the podium. Where are the lights? Are they over there? Do we have lights set up?
Oh, it's right here.
Oh, it's up here. Okay, you come to the podium, but here are the lights. When the green light starts when you start, and you have 3 minutes at 30 seconds before the end, the yellow light will come on, and the red light comes on at the end, and we'd like for you to sum up at that point in time. So, our first speaker is Debbie Springer.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. Welcome to the Face of Transportation. I am the insurance provider and head of household. I have 17 years service and make $16.96 per hour. I drive 5 hours a day on a 177-day contract. We do everything in transportation based on seniority. My seniority number is 62 out of 518 regular ed drivers. My annual gross is $15,000. Annual insurance is $2,124, translating to a salary of $12,885 yearly, putting me $2,624 below the federal poverty level. I pay $63 more per month for insurance than full-time employees. TRS is increasing the amount they are charging the district for insurance next year. For my coverage tier, the cost will go from $466 to $572 per month. This relates to a 23% increase, further increasing my poverty level. To increase my salary, I used to be able to pick a tutorial or a late run, but those have been discontinued. I could also pick a noon run or a shuttle. However, at my center, there were only 11 noon runs and 7 shuttles available at the time of selection. Trips are the only thing left to increase my hours. The district services approximately 1,200 trips a year. Unfortunately, teachers and coaches are servicing about 48% of those trips. Another loss of our opportunities. I attend unpaid trip selection to get one of 7 to 15 trips available per week at our center. Because of all these cuts, I am unable to meet the 1,250-hour qualifier for FML to ensure my job and the 35-hour standard for full-time. We also lost the 400 perfect attendance bonus that is sadly translated to a dramatic drop in attendance. Why not get another job, you ask? Bus driving is the most full-time, part-time job there is. We work every day on a split schedule. There are about 4 hours between AM and PM routes. With travel time, etc., that leaves us about 3 hours for a job. If I could find one of those, I would take it. Some of our drivers used to work in food services during that break, but that was also taken away from us. The discontinuation of after-school runs resulted in dropping from 6 hours to 5 hours a day, giving me a 20% drop in pay. Others lost that hour due to putting in place the 2-mile transportation limit, effectively assuring all the routes. In 2003 through 2006, I made over $17,500 a year, a livable wage compared to the $15,000 I am now making. I am at the top end of the wage scale. Just imagine how the lower 200 of our drivers are faring. We have had so many cuts, we are broken. We have huge turnover and attendance problems. Our service to the parents and students is abysmal. Because of the lack of drivers, the district cost to train a driver cannot be cheap. Please consider helping drivers in next year's budget and return us to a living wage. Thank you.
Next is Walter Ferrari.
Forgive me, I'm not an accomplished speaker, but we'll work at it. I want to speak with you, and I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak with you concerning acknowledgement of this board and acknowledgement of the Cy-Fair ISD school system. I couldn't have scripted a better prelude than I saw here tonight. But I want to thank the board and the previous board for the wisdom, the fortitude, and the foresight to put together the programs that they've put together. I have grandchildren, I won't tell you my age yet, that have graduated high school from Cy-Fair ISD. I have another granddaughter about to graduate this year. They have been accepted to universities and colleges in the Northeast that I couldn't graduate from. And I graduated from some pretty tough Jesuit schools. Gentlemen, I want to thank you again for building an ISD school system that ranks above any, in my opinion, above any. You say, how do you come to this opinion? I've worked for 3 of the largest companies in the world. The United States government. I spent 20 years in the United States Army and retired as a full colonel. I spent 5 years in civil service and retired as a GS-15. I worked for IBM, and I managed their outsourcing, their first outsourcing under ISSC as a senior project executive. I worked for a local company named Transocean. I was their CIO. I put the very first voice and video across the internet to rigs in the middle of the North Sea. So that sort of gives me some credibility to talk about education. I've taught at the university level. I've built programs for high school DOD in South Korea. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart and these people's heart for the curriculum you've designed and for the people that you've hired. More specifically, I'd like to recommend and commend an AP at Dean Middle School. I won't give you his name. It won't take much to figure out who he is. He is an 8th grade AP who is a retired veteran, wounded twice, who came out of the Army, went to college to get his advanced educational degrees so he could teach young people and give them the opportunities that he did not have as a young man. My yellow light, I'm sorry. Today, he has dedicated his entire career to molding, educating, and building better students and better citizens for the state of Texas, and for the United States of America. I give you Mr. Garcia from Dean Middle School. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we don't get those too often. Thank you. Dr. Francis Smith. Follow that one up, Dr. Smith.
Good evening, President Covey, board members, and Dr. Henry. Quickly moving to the end of the Texas legislature session, as educators can ascertain a continuation of practices that will or will not enhance our schoolrooms in the coming years. If one reads newspaper editorials regarding the Texas legislature, Congress, education, and those expenditures which affect public education, it's a foregone conclusion that our policymakers do not talk to teachers nor know much about what happens in a real classroom. Of vital importance is strong administrative support for the classroom. There are always new teachers and those with experience who struggle. So much depends upon the students one has and the teacher's background in the subject. When this occurs, support needs to be immediate, a plan agreed upon by both teacher and administrator, a goal to reach in steps, and the promise of continued support. When this happens, student and teacher growth occurs. It does not mean the teacher should be on a needs improvement plan either. A veteran teacher and public education advocate, Rita Pearson, noted that early in her career, she found herself questioning her choice of vocation due to students who appeared to be unmotivated, overwhelming paperwork, and the constant change of educational direction. But 1 year became 40 as she realized that no other profession would let her change children's minds and have an impact on their future long after the school day and the year were over. For each student who finally got it, Mrs. Pearson said she got the raise that never quite made it to her paycheck. In today's market economy, those who would control the state's purse strings should realize that future excellent teachers they want might demand a much higher pay scale to keep them, as these teachers can easily earn more in another profession. Class size is an important component in good teaching. Teachers are exhausted from grading papers for large classes, and then they have the added issue of discipline concerns. The larger the class, the harder it is to get to know all the students on an individual basis, which is so important. The smaller classes are more cohesive and discussion far easier. As Mrs. Pearson acknowledged, unless there's a connection among teacher, student, and lesson, learning becomes tiresome for all involved. All teachers bring their individual brand of connection to the classroom, so the variations must be understood by the evaluators. Articles written by our policymakers about what should be happening in education rarely mention that the classroom teacher is the expert about the classroom, and how often are teachers actually consulted when policy and law are being passed as to their efficacy. It takes close collaboration among teachers, administrators, and parents to understand student learning in the classroom. If all are not present, teachers likely will not receive administrative support or will not be permitted to participate in the decision-making process. If partisan politics are a constant presence, then the lack of state funding causes budget restrictions that are felt in every aspect of the teaching process, class sizes easily balloon, and the community loses a chance to impact a positive stamp on the process. I ask that all of us reach out to our policymakers to make sure we head in the best direction to support our students, our teachers, and public education. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Smith. Nikki Cowart.
Good evening. I am Nikki Cowart, President of the Cy-Fair American Federation of Teachers. I know there has been buzz talk in the air regarding a raise for Cy-Fair ISD employees. So I'm here tonight to present support cards, thank you, Mike, signed by citizens all across Cy-Fair that ask for a pay raise for our transportation workers specifically. I've got some numbers here. The average hourly wage for transportation employee here is about $16.50 an hour. Typical hours they're working per week is 20. In a 2-week pay period, that equals $15.8 approximately per year. So a 10% pay raise for someone making this salary amounts to $1,584 per year. After such a raise, the worker would make $17.4 approximately The federal poverty line for a single parent with one child is $15,500, approximately the current salary for a transportation worker currently. For a family of four, even the worker's salary after our requested raise would still fall below the poverty line of $23,555. For a starting teacher making $45,000 a year, a $1,584 raise would be 3.5%. Our union supports our transportation workers, and no one knows their issues better than the transportation workers themselves. So I'm grateful that you could hear tonight about our transportation workers needing to be paid for their hard work that they do. Our members, from teachers to custodians to nurses to transportation workers, stand together with Debbie Springer, our transportation leader for Cypher AFT, in asking that the transportation workers receive a pay increase that they deserve. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cowart. The Board of Trustees of Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District met as a committee of the whole on Thursday, May 9, 2013, at 6 p.m. to review portions of tonight's agenda, to receive additional information, and to ask questions of the administration regarding the proposed items. During that meeting, the following report was received. The administration reported on the budget for 2013-2014. The board will hear the following reports being presented this evening. The administration will report on the maintenance and operations departments. Presenters are Archie Hayes and Tammy Blankenship. Which one are you, Roy?
I'm taking care of the maintenance part. I'm going to introduce Archie Hayes, if you don't mind. It's my pleasure to introduce Archie Hayes and his incredible team for the job they do every day to try to keep our facilities of over 15 million square feet plus maintained in a safe and professional environment, to make sure we have a safe and learning environment for our students and staff. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Archie, and he'll take over and present the maintenance portion of the presentation. Thank you.
Roy.
Thank you, Roy. President Covey, members of the board, Dr. Henry, I'd like to thank you for having us tonight. I'm here to give you just a brief insight into our maintenance department. First of all, I'd like to introduce our administrative staff. If I could get them to stand, please. First, we have Scott Ledoux, our Assistant Director of Maintenance. We have Carrie Ramsey, our Supervisor of MEP. We have Russell Rucker, our Supervisor of Crafts. And we have Dave Tooker, our HVAC Supervisor. Now to introduce the folks that actually run the maintenance department, we have, first of all, Gay Sherman, my secretary. We have Charla Mercer. Charla's responsible for several different things. She's got a grocery list full of items that she takes care of. Training, certification, elevators, IPM records, asbestos records, just to name a few. Maureen Betker is our finance secretary. Her job is basically keep me out of jail. Yvonne Freeman enters all the data for the thousands of work orders that we're able to complete each year. Rochelle Jones is our dispatch and receptionist. She's the one that will receive all the calls when we receive emergency calls or any other calls from campuses or elsewhere. She also dispatches all of our maintenance employees on emergency call-outs. And then Amy Stevens. Amy works mainly with our HVAC department. She works very heavily with the preventive maintenance work orders. All of these ladies provide such an important and vital role to the maintenance department, and they were all very instrumental in us implementing our new work order system that we were able to get started this past December. I quickly acknowledge each department and basically what they do. I've already met Dave Tooker. Dave is our, again, he's our HVAC supervisor. As we go through these different departments, you're going to notice that Dave's responsibility is basically just tied to only one trade, HVAC. He apparently has the easiest job in the maintenance department. His only responsibility is to ensure the comfort of over 13,000 staff members and 110,000 students. Piece of cake, Dave. Next, we have Carrie Ramsey, which is our MEP supervisor, which is mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. Carrie's responsible for all of our electrical, our plumbing, our low voltage, which will be fire alarm systems, PA systems, scoreboards, clocks. He's also responsible for the appliance technicians, which maintain all of our culinary arts kitchens, our washers, dryers, ice machines, teacher's lounge appliances. Carrie's also a licensed electrician, has been for several years. As you look at these pictures, you can see that our plumbers work above ground, on ground, and even above the ceiling. Next, we have Russell Rucker. Again, Russell is the supervisor of crafts, which includes the roofers, painters, locksmiths, metal shop, and carpenters. These trades basically handle everything that doesn't have anything to do at all with electrical, plumbing, or HVAC. In other words, they take care of everything that Carrie and Russell don't want to deal with. So they've got their hands full. Scott Ledoux, our assistant director of maintenance. Scott oversees our grounds department. You know, we hear grounds and we think of mowing grass. These guys handle everything outside that goes on around the buildings, like playgrounds, fencing, parking lots, sidewalks, signage, irrigation, pest control. They take care of all of that. Scott is also our OSHA-trained safety coordinator for the maintenance department. Scott is also a trained and certified forklift trainer, so he does all the training for our forklift operations for our maintenance department and our operations department. Scott is also our certified IPM, or integrated pest management coordinator for the district, which is normally a full-time position in a lot of districts. Scott also sells popcorn at halftime at most of the ball games. There's rumor has it, Scott is an immigrant to our country, and rumor has it that he came over in the back of Harold Rowe's truck when he came over from Louisiana. I'm not quite sure about that. It's just rumor. Our goal is pretty simple in the maintenance department. Basically, we're to provide our children and our staff with a safe and comfortable environment. It's conducive to the teaching and learning. The objective in maintaining school facilities is pretty straightforward. You keep the building safe and comfortable, increase the longevity of the building and its equipment, protect school property, and you do so in the most efficient and effective manner possible. Back in January at our DLT meeting, Dr. Henry guided us through a very interesting exercise I think we all enjoyed. We were to close our eyes and think back to where we were 20 years ago. First of all, 10 years ago, then 20 years ago, and so on. What I would like to do tonight is kind of reenact that exercise, but just in reverse. I'd like for us to take a look back as to where we were as a district and as a maintenance department 20 years ago. In 1993, 20 years ago, Cy-Fair was beginning to feel the sudden growth in our area. We were in the early stages of moving away from that little country-feeling community just west of town. We had substantially increased our student population to over 40,000. We now had 5 high schools, and Cy-Fair was on the move. Our maintenance staffing levels hadn't quite caught up with the growth at that time. We now had over 6,400,000 square feet of building space to maintain. We only had 62 maintenance employees. This averages out to a little over 103,000 square foot per employee. We did have 37 grounds employees, but we were pretty lean at that time. We move ahead 5 years to 1998. Cy-Fair had continued to grow, but we've also made some additions in the maintenance department to help us keep up with the growth. We now had 86 full-time employees and 50 grounds employees. The district had increased in size by about 1 million square feet, but with our additional employees, we were now at a very comfortable 86,000 square foot per employee. That year, we were able to complete over 37,000 work orders. We were fat and sassy, and life was good in Cypress, Texas in 1998. 2003, our district had added another 1.5 million square feet. We now had 7 high schools, 12 middle schools, and 38 elementaries. We also had 168 temporary buildings, had almost 75,000 students, and we were now the 5th largest district in the state of Texas. We'd added a few more maintenance and grounds employees to help us keep up with the growth, and we now had 98 maintenance employees and 61 grounds employees, and we were averaging around 91,000 square feet of building per employee. We completed over 41,500 work orders in 2003. Life was still good, but we were beginning to hear a few rumbles and see a few clouds on the horizon, and tell was that the climate in Austin was beginning to change a little bit, and it may affect the entire state. We're going to jump ahead 10 years to where we currently are. But before I do that, I want to explain why I've pointed out our employee to square footage ratios. There's generally two nationally accepted sources for maintenance staffing. There's the Association of Physical Plant and Administrators, and also the Association of Higher Educational Facilities Officers. These were both used, along with TASB, during our district review that was conducted back during the 2009-2010 school year. According to these national standards, if your maintenance staffing level is at or greater than 100,000 square foot per employee, you're going to begin to lose ground as far as keeping up and maintaining your buildings. The age of your buildings are also considered when discussing staffing levels. This chart points out their recommended staffing levels. Now, these are best scenarios. If you look up there, a new building from new to 10 years old, they're suggesting one full-time employee per 85,000 square feet of building. And if you followed on down to 30 years, a building that's 30 years old or older, it falls down to one full-time employee per 60,000 square feet of building. We currently have 58 buildings in our district that are 20 years old or older. We also have 33 buildings that are 30 years old or older. We think of Cy-Fair having a lot of new facilities. The actual age, average age of our facilities are 24 years old. Today, we've grown to over 15.5 million square feet of building space. We have over 100 facilities, 110,000 students. We're now the third largest district in the state of Texas. We currently have 97 full-time maintenance positions compared to 98 10 years ago, even though we've almost doubled in size. If you were only to look at our staffing levels without seeing our buildings, you'd automatically think that our buildings are falling apart. That's not quite the case. We now average approximately 156,000 square feet per full-time employee, and we were able to complete over 50,000 work orders this past year. Giving you a better example of what that looks like, our 47 grounds employees who actually mow grass mow approximately 1,425 acres a week. They weed eat almost 60 miles of curbs and sidewalks every week. What does 156,000 square foot per employee look like? It's as if you would take one employee and have him responsible for maintaining 39 4,000 square foot homes. And imagine that with anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000 kids running through them every day. We're not crying and we're not whining about where we are. In fact, we're actually pretty proud of what we do. If you've toured any other districts or if you talk to anyone who from the outside who has toured any of our schools, there's two things that they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you that our schools are clean and our schools are well maintained. Back during the review that we had in 2009 and 10, had a couple of consultants ask me the question, and I've had other districts maintenance directors ask me the same question. How are you able to keep up with this? How are you able to do what you do with your limited number of employees? We gave it a lot of thought, and basically I come up with 4 reasons. The first one I think is very important. We come to work every day. Over the last 7 years, our maintenance department has had better than a 95% daily attendance rate. We're efficient. We've operated basically within the same budget restraints for the past several years. We've received tremendous support from Roy Sprague, Stuart Snow, and the rest of our administration. The third reason is the high expectations and great leadership of these 4 guys right here. These men have shown tremendous leadership, and they've been a model to our maintenance employees to emulate. And then the last reason, and obviously a very important one, is the loyalty and extreme dedication to the students of this district by these guys. We're very fortunate to have a group of such talented, skilled tradesmen as we do. Have a group of guys, a group of people who never hesitate to step up. They never complain about what they're being asked to do or being shorthanded. I can't say enough about them. They're just unbelievable, and we try to thank them for what they do every day. like to thank you all for having us tonight to tell you a little bit about our maintenance department. And does anyone have any questions?
Anyone have any questions? We're okay. Thank you, Archie.
I do have a comment.
Mr. Jackson has a comment.
I would like to say thank you for the job that you are doing. I was part of a citizens committee that looked at budget cuts, and we had to recommend what areas to cut. So I saw the reports that you referenced. At that time, those reports said that your department outperformed all the other districts, period. As a citizens group, we argued, I thought, persuasively against cutting your department until we were asked, well, do you really want to keep the maintenance staff versus cutting teachers? And at that point in time, we buckled. So I apologize because I supported severe cuts as a citizen to your department. And I'd like to say thank you for the job that you have continued to do at a very high level. I have an opportunity to go to other districts and see other schools, and I'm very proud to say that, at least in my opinion, Cy-Fair still is better maintained than any other district that I have visited. So thank you.
Tammy?
Mr. Colby, if I may introduce.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's our pleasure to introduce Tammy Blankenship, the Director of Operations. She proudly leads a strong team providing, as Archie's department does, key services to our buildings and our employees and our students. Tammy.
President Covey, Board of Directors, and Dr. Henry, thank you for having me here today. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the Operations Department and give you a little bit of some of our key information that I would like to share with you. Our annual budget is $22 million. We provide cleaning services for over 15 million square feet on a nightly basis. We do this with 600 employees, approximately 415 of the 600 employees provide nightly cleaning services. Our cost per square foot is $1.26. That is our operating cost. At our elementary schools, we have approximately 4 to 5 employees. You have 2 day custodians, 3 night custodians. At our middle schools, we have approximately 8 custodians. We have 2 during the day and 6 at night. Additionally, at our high schools, we have 17 custodians, 3 during the day and 14 at night. At our elementary and middle schools, we typically have 2 day custodians and 3 night custodians. At our middle schools, we'll have 2 day custodians and 6 night custodians. And at our high schools, we have 3 day custodians and 14 night custodians. So that kind of gives you a breakdown of what we have. The impact of the budget reductions that we experienced over the last several years, each custodian cleans approximately 36,000 square feet per night. That would, if you took an average home, 2,000 square foot home, each custodian would clean 18 houses a night. So that kind of gives you an idea of what we're doing out in the district. We had a budget reduction of $2 million, or approximately 92 positions. I have kind of reduced our daily custodial services because I would have numerous pages, but our morning custodians typically work 6:30 to 3:30, 6:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. They open the buildings. They provide early morning support for students and staff. They provide breakfast and lunch duties. Our midday custodians work 11 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. They provide lunch duty. They also help with midday cleaning and the support for our students and staff out at the schools. Our evening custodians do major cleaning and disinfection of all high-touch areas. One of the most important things that we do out in the buildings is disinfection. That is the most critical thing that we do. All of your high-touch areas are your telephones, your keypads, your light switches, your doorknobs. Those are high-touch areas that can be infectious to our students and our staff. We're trying to maintain the attendance in the school. We also provide disinfection and cleaning for our restrooms, locker rooms, gyms, classrooms, clinics, office areas, and common areas. Additionally, on top of providing nightly cleaning services, we also remove exterior graffiti throughout the district. We do gym floor refinishing. We handle all 11 pools, the mechanical maintenance and cleaning. We also repair cafeteria tables. We do carpet and hard floor cleaning and special projects. We do pre and post construction moves and cleanup. We provide 24/7 emergency cleanup services for fire and water intrusions. During Hurricane Ike, we were probably the largest district that in-house, between operations and maintenance, were able to get the district back online within a week, 2 weeks. We had employees literally out in the buildings with flashlights using our truck mount units, because remember there wasn't any power during that time, pulling water up so we could get our schools back up and going. And because we didn't have any power, we had to try to prevent any type of mold growth in the building. So 3 to 4 times a day we were going to each location that had been impacted by Hurricane Ike and using a biocide to prevent any type of mold growth in those areas. And that also helped us to get everything back in line and get the kids back in school. That service is not a lot of districts provide that. There's been numerous nights that we've had, like Cy Creek, we've had water intrusion. We had to get the kids back. It happened at midnight. We had to get the kids, where are you going to move 3,300 students at 6 or 7 a.m. in the morning? So between midnight and 6 a.m., my staff and I got the building ready to go for the students. There were 26 classrooms affected. We were able to get 12 up and running. So, it's a tremendous assistance to the great staff that I have. Additionally, I'd like to share with you the makeup of our custodial staff. We have 600 full-time equivalents. 64% are female, 36% are male, approximately 23% are black, 57% are Hispanic, 5% are white, 12% are Asian, and less than 1% are American Indian. One of the other things I wanted to share with you is our operations management workforce. This consists of area managers, supervisors of operations, assistant director of human resources, and myself, director of operations. We are 40% female, we are 60% male, we are 40% black, we are 40% Hispanic, and we are 20% white. I feel that it's very important that we reflect the district demographics as well as our custodial demographics in our management staff. So I have taken a strong step in hiring the best, but also working at diversification. Okay, our cafeteria table maintenance and repair crew. We repair and weld and maintain over 3,100 cafeteria tables. I have 2 employees that do that district-wide. Equipment repair, those are scrubbers, backpacks, carpet extractors, buffers. Those are items that are the equipment that we utilize in the buildings every night. We repair and maintain 2,000 pieces of equipment with 3 employees. Additionally, during the summer, I have 2 crews that refinish wooden floors. We refinish approximately 54 gym floors and 80 stages during the summertime. We're working around outside groups. We're working around Club Rewind and summer school, and we're able to fit all that in, that we get all of our gymnasium floors taken care of. Additionally, the aquatics division, we repair, replace motors, pumps, and chemical feeds, as well as maintain chemical and temperature levels as mandated by the state for 11 district pools. We have 4 competition pools at Springs Ranch, Campbell, and Cy Falls. Exterior graffiti removal, we power wash and remove all exterior graffiti throughout the district. We graffiti block all the exterior brick surfaces on district buildings. We power wash sidewalks and driveways throughout the district. We do that with 2 employees. We also provide carpet and hard floor cleaning, restoring, and special projects. We approximately 9.6 million square feet of carpet throughout the district and about 5.4 million square feet of hard surfaces. You can kind of see up there a before and after photo. We really try to spruce the schools up, make them look really good before the teachers come in, because it's a real motivator for they come in, and it sets the tone for the school year. So we really work with our principals to try to make things look really good. We also do high dusting and window cleaning. We do chair and riser setups for special events that go on throughout the district, and as I said before, water intrusions, drying, and extraction of carpet, so we can make sure that we have the classrooms ready for the kids to come back in the next day. Our pre- and post-construction moves and summer cleanups. Typically, every year we'll have some renovation projects that go on throughout the school district. To give you an idea of what a big job this is, one of the reasons we try to move as quickly as we can, as soon as school is out, actually we see the red lights of the school bus leaving, and we're starting to move. We moved Campbell Middle School out, the entire school, loaded 18-wheelers up, moved it out in 3 days. And the reason that we do that is because facilities construction is trying to do 5 months of work in a 2-month period, so the quicker that we can get items out of the building, the faster the contractors can get started. So it's really hand-in-glove operation there. Additionally, what we do is prior to the start of school, we move all those items back in. And we also do cleanup of the schools to make sure everything looks good. Sometimes we've been walking out of the school as the kids are walking in, but we get it done every year. Okay, how do we do this? We've got a limited staff. How do we make this work? One of the things in how we do it is we use better tools and better methods. We utilize microfiber. Microfiber has been a huge help to us, where it increases our productivity, it reduces chemical usage, and it provides a healthy environment for students. What we did is we saw that the budget cuts were coming, and we looked at what the medical field was using in our medical center in downtown Houston. So what we did is we spoke to them, and they were utilizing microfiber to increase productivity. So we did it, and also has if you take like a cotton mop and you just use water, that's about a 30% reduction of bacteria. If you take microfiber and water only, that's about a 99% disinfection, okay? When you add a quaternary disinfectant, like what we utilize, you have 100% disinfection. So we're able to reduce bacterium in our schools. So we utilize that. We also utilize automatic scrubbers and HEPA-Vacs. To give you an idea why automatic scrubbers are so important, if, say I had to utilize, if I didn't have an automatic scrubber and I had to use 8 custodians to mop the entire school, it would take about 8 to do a high school, okay? What I can do with an automatic scrubber, I can use 1 employee to mop the entire, or to auto scrub the entire school. So that's another way to save labor. We also reduce our chemical usage by using changing to a chemical proportioning system, as well as provided healthy environment for our students and staff. So the microfiber reduces cross-contamination. As you can see on the picture there, what we do is we had those different colors right there, and we'd use like a red for the restroom, and you clip all the rest of the other colors off. We'd use a green for the cafeteria, you clip the other, that prevents cross-contamination. Okay. One of the other things that we did to make our department successful is we incorporated a recognition program, because part of a recognition program is a human factor. And one of the most important things that you can do is recognize your employees for the job that they do. Try to catch them doing something right instead of trying to catch them doing something wrong. What we do, we have involvement with our principals and our teachers and the kids out at the schools. Part of a recognition program, we look at the clean facilities, we look at the attendance levels, if you have a safe working environment, and what we do is we actually go out, we present a plaque, the school, a lot of the teachers will get up and they'll thank the custodians for the job that they do, the kids will produce little videos thanking them for what they do. We really try to let them know how much we appreciate what they do. It's very important. The human factor is very important. We try to keep our employees motivated. We try to understand them on a human level. If they're having problems or need assistance, we assist and help them. And they give back, because they truly believe in what they do. And, you know, I'm sorry, one of the things, I brought a little letter. Would y'all like to hear that real quick? It was from one of the reason, I guess the reason I'm trying to tell this is why we do this, and every child counts. This is a letter I received from one of the students at one of our high schools. It says, "Dear Miss Bobby, the way you have had an impact on my life was you were always there for me. Whenever I needed someone to talk to or I just needed encouragement, there were times when I needed and didn't want to go to class, and you made me. I'm just saying that you are a positive influence. Like when I first told you that I was having, excuse me, a lot of problems at home, you didn't judge me nor look at me differently. Like the days I would say I was going to help you in the cafeteria, I would actually come and just not do anything. I would just talk to you. There were so many times when I was sad and crying to you, you would just sit there and listen to my story. So for all the times I needed you, you were there and never turned your back on me. I'd like to thank you for the huge impact you've had on my life." And I guess in closing, what I'd like to say is, with the power of one, and the reason why we do this is because every child counts. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Blankenship, and along with that, it's always wonderful to go into the schools and see what a great job y'all do. The administration will report on the 83rd legislative session. Presenters are Dr. Henry, Teresa Hull, and Stuart Snow.
Thank you, Mr. President. As y'all are all aware, Stuart covered the financial legislation pretty well last Thursday, so we're going to move on to more of the issues related to graduation flexibility and end of course exams and some of the related bills in that area. So I'll let Teresa start if she would.
Okay, over the course of the last couple of months, we've been providing you with an update on the progress with the legislation that makes changes to the high school graduation programs and the state assessment at the high school level. The current bill, House Bill 5, has passed through the House and passed through the Senate and is ready to go into a conference committee. And tonight I just wanted to highlight some of the changes that were made in the Senate version of House Bill 5. As you will see on the slide, well, first off, let me point out, I think this is important to point out that the version, the House Bill 5 Senate version, did pass unanimously, and that was last Monday. The Senate version creates a 26-credit foundation diploma comprised of 17.5 required courses and 8.5 elective credits. The foundation requirements include 4 credits in English, 3 in math, 3 in science, 3 in social studies, and then you can see some of the other required courses such as PE, fine arts, 2 credits in language other than English or computer programming. That would be your foreign language requirement. 0.5 credit in speech, and then the 8.5 credits in electives. And please note that 2 credits must be academic electives out of the 8.5. Students earning the foundation diploma may also earn one of the 4 endorsements, which has additional credit requirements, such as 4 credits of math. And in the House version, you may recall there are 5 possible endorsements. In the Senate version, there are only 4. The Distinguished Achievement endorsement requires 4 years of English, 4 years of math, science, and social studies. And Algebra 2 is specifically required among the math credits, and English 3 among the English credits. Additionally, students pursuing the Distinguished Achievement must earn 3 credits in foreign language and demonstrate college readiness performance on several non-EOC tests, such as advanced placement tests. And the best comparison I can make to the Distinguished Achievement endorsement would be the current DAP, Distinguished Achievement Program, graduation program. That would be the equivalent to the Distinguished Achievement endorsement. It's also very important to note that the Distinguished Achievement endorsement is required for eligibility for automatic admissions among the top 10% of the graduating class. So if students even want to be considered for eligibility in that, they would have to pursue the Distinguished Achievement endorsement under the Senate version of HB 5. The Senate version of HB 5 also maintains 5 end-of-course exams. However, there is a difference in the House version of this bill. The Senate substitute combines reading and writing into one English language arts test score compared to the House version, which counted the reading portion of the English 2 EOC as one test and the writing portion as one test. Each assessment must be passed for graduation purposes, and as you are aware, the bill does eliminate the 15% and the cumulative score requirements that are currently in place. So sometimes when you hear different numbers of end-of-course exams, the House version, if you recall, is reading, writing, English 2, reading and writing, Algebra 1, biology, and U.S. history. Under the Senate version, sometimes folks will refer to it as having 7 end-of-course exams, but the Senate is saying, no, we're combining the reading and writing portions into one score, so then that's how they are able to pick up an English 1, an English 2, and then Algebra 1, U.S. history, and biology. Some additional provisions of HB 5 in the Senate version. Beginning with middle school, all students will be required to develop a personal graduation plan. You may hear it referred to as a PGP. At entry into the 9th grade, students will be required to submit in writing the selection of an endorsement to be pursued, and students and parents may only opt out of the endorsement requirement at the end of the 10th grade year. So upon entry into 9th grade, every student will have to begin high school with the selection of an endorsement and may not opt out until the end of 10th grade. Additionally, this bill authorizes the state to fund the administration of nationally recognized assessments for 8th, 10th, and 11th graders. These assessments may include the Explorer, which is administered to 8th graders, the Plan, or PSAT for 10th graders, and the ACT or SAT for 11th graders. I'm not sure exactly where that funding's coming from, but since this is not an appropriations bill, but that is a provision in this bill. The bill further requires all 7th or 8th graders to complete a career exploration course, which will provide the opportunity for students to learn about the endorsement options offered in high school. And that would be a CTE course that would be offered for any 7th or 8th grader. I want to move on and just point out House Bill 2836, which we've not talked about previously. This is a bill that passed out of the House on April the 30th by a vote of 142 to 0, and this relates to the state assessment program for grades 3 through 8. HB 2836 establishes specific quality criteria and specific design specifications for the state assessment program. Before the test can be administered, this bill states that an independent entity, neither TEA or the test company, Pearson, must determine on the basis of empirical evidence that the tests are reliable and valid. Additionally, the test must be designed to assess texts that are grade level and subject specific. Supporting knowledge and skills that are taught may be included on the test, but may be counted for diagnostic purposes only. The bill further addresses the length of the test. The test administration time may not exceed 8 hours on one day, and tests are to be designed to permit 85% of the 3rd through 5th graders to finish in 2 hours and 85% of the 6th graders to finish in 3 hours. So no more than 8 hours, but the design of the test should be built around that idea of only 2 hours for grades 3 through 8, and then, for 3 through 5, and then 2 hours for 2 hours for grades 3 through 5, and 3 hours for 6 through 8. HB 2836 further restructures the state assessment program in grades 3 through 8 as follows. Grades 3 through 8 would be tested annually in reading, grades 3 through 8 in mathematics annually, grades 5 and 8 in science annually, and grade 8 in social studies annually. And please note what is missing from our current assessment program are the writing tests. This bill eliminates the writing test in grades 4 and 7. Additionally, this bill states that districts may not administer more than 2 benchmark tests per state test in grades 3 through 8, except in those cases where parents of special needs students request additional benchmark testing. And that's very similar to the provision that is in HB 5 as well. Remember, I pointed that out in April as another provision of that bill. So that is really just the latest update. The House conferees have been named. We have Representative Aycock, Representative Desautels, Gonzalez, Huberty, and Rodriguez have been named as the conferees for the House committee. We're not sure, have not seen the list of names for the Senate, but we're hopeful that that will happen very, very soon and that they will begin to work out the differences between the two versions of the House and Senate on HB 5.
Okay. We have any questions? Ms. Hartley?
Questions. First, on the endorsement that they have to pick as a ninth grader, wasn't there an amendment or a part of that that if they decided to change it, the parents had to be notified? Did I see something about
They have to agree in writing. The parent and the student have to submit in writing, and they cannot opt out until the end of the 10th grade year.
Yeah, I liked that part about the parents have to be notified. And then my other question was, which students will these changes occur with? Like, what graduating class might we, which ones are going to be as my...
This, the Senate engrossed version, if I recall, it becomes effective with the 2013-14 school year, and students will have the option to continue on their current graduation program or to opt for this foundation plan with endorsements. So there's an option for the effective 2013-14. So that would be current...
The kids going into
10th graders.
Oh, okay.
That would be current 10th graders. They can either continue on or opt out and go to the foundation diploma requirements. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that would be the graduating class of 2015.
Okay. That have already taken a bunch of EOCs, as my sophomore has. She's like, they're changing it right after we can opt out of it. But my one going into ninth grade will be. That's what I was wondering. Which students?
It's not
will
a
this affect?
phase-in like typically we see with changes in the graduation program or assessment program. It would start with the basically the current 10th graders. As you know, the current juniors are still under the tax assessment program.
Right. Okay.
Anyone? Mr. Ryan?
I know. We both have an eighth grader. He's gonna have to. As far as the other question that you're probably being asked as well on exempting finals.
I'm going to let Mary Jedlowski come talk about that.
Are the finals, is EOC the same, would it be the same as the final?
See how slowly she's walking up here?
She's crafting her response to that.
Walking very slowly.
We, keeping in mind that all this has to come to full fruition in the conference committee, and then the governor has to.
You're exactly right.
We will take all of this into consideration and determine. We believe that exemptions are motivating for students, both in grades and attendance, and they are part of our system. That's the administrative recommendation on that. So we'll just have to, we will keep exemptions, I'm certain, but we'll have to see how all this plays together.
Okay. That's a yes. And then, that was a question from the House, not from me. And then, on this independent entity must determine that tests are reliable and valid, do we get to select that entity, or is it
No, that's a
just...
great question, and I'm really uncertain how that will play out, who that independent entity would be, because it's not TEA or the test developer, so I'm not sure who that would be. But I don't know. I don't know the
I know
detail
that
of
all has to play out, but it just...
It's interesting,
it seems like
isn't it?
that they've just, like, thrown their buddy a job or something.
Well, no, actually, it's
I think
probably a good thing.
the real reason is frustration with the test developer.
I think that's it.
So I think that's more of a shot at them than it is anyone.
Right.
Okay.
Dr. O? Oh, I thought you had something. Darcy? Tom?
Of course.
Of course.
Teresa, I know that in earlier versions of this bill, consideration was given to adopting the Louisiana approach of assigning a letter grade of A through F for schools and school districts. What's the current status of that?
With this, and I did not include the information about the accountability provision. I don't want to misquote myself. It does, thank you, Linda. It does state that we would maintain the current accountability system for at least 1 year, and then they would make determinations about the exact grading system that would be used. Where the House version, if I remember correctly, it does continue to use the ABC rating system. But I think there's still some uncertainty about how that's going to play out.
I seem to recall that the Senate version removed the A through F for individual campuses and retained that for school districts, but individual campuses would have something similar to what we currently have.
But only for, I think, if I remember correctly, Mr. Jackson, I think it was only saying for at least the next couple of years till they make a final determination. I don't know that that is permanent, but you're exactly right. In the short term, we keep the current rating system until they make a final determination on what kind of rating system to use. And that would be, the commissioner would have that ability.
But I think the not just the commissioner, I believe a committee is going to be put together of educators and other people to determine the best path forward as far as accountability system.
And they've made recommendations
over the next couple
on
of
that?
years.
Yeah, that haven't necessarily been implemented.
Hadn't been figured out yet.
I know one of the fallacies is exemplified by Joel Elementary, where this entity, and I'll say they're a well-respected entity because they are, rushed to use a letter grading schemata, and they assigned a letter grade to Joel that I believe was inappropriate. I think I would be so bold as to call it a reporting travesty. Would you comment on that, Dr. Macias?
You're correct, Mr. Jackson. There was a report that was published in the newspaper from Children at Risk, and they have different criteria that they use to determine the performance of schools. And there are some who are confused that it's a state accountability system or the federal, but it's not. This is a separate nonprofit entity who uses different criteria. And one of the criteria that they use is average class size, along with other criteria such as commended scores on tags or the advanced level 3 on the STAR, graduation rates, the number of economically disadvantaged students that school has. In fact, you get more points with the larger number of economically disadvantaged students you have, the more points that you get in that area. But for Joel Elementary, the issue was with the average class size, and they get this information from TEA, from the AEIS report from PEAMS, and the average class size for Joel was showing at 40 per student, I believe is what it was. And the error that occurred is they combined teachers' classes. For example, a teacher teaches 2 sections of reading language arts, 22 kids in each class. Instead of the report being an average class size of 20 or 22, because there's 2 different classes, the classes were combined to show 40, an average class of about 40. So we went back and asked the Children at Risk if they would recalculate what Joel's letter grade would have been if the correct class size average would have been in there, and it would have actually been a B, not the D that it was assigned.
Thank you for checking into that, and also I think that shows why assigning a letter grade, as the state of Louisiana does not always give you the best answer on the evaluation of a school, particularly when you have different elements that go into it that are not necessarily representative of the achievement of that particular school. I was shocked when that grade came out because I had been to Joel. I read their CIPs not only for this year but the last year, and I checked the scores over a 3-year time period, and they're very consistent. So it's a high-performing school, and and I know many people would say, well, B is not a high-performing school. You have to take a look at these test scores, and this is a high-performing school.
That is correct.
Is Matt in the house tonight? He is. A very small item, but it kind of falls into your bailiwick. There is a House Bill 370, Senate Bill 376 that passed. It had to do with increasing the number of free meals given even to those students who do not qualify for free and reduced lunch. Would you comment briefly on this and the impact on the district?
I believe the bill stated that if a school is 80% or more free or reduced, all children will be eligible for free breakfast. That probably will not have a negative impact on the district. I mean, the reimbursement rate for a free student will more than cover the cost of providing breakfast for a paid student. And we have about 9 schools that would qualify. It probably would be a good thing for the district. Our participation would increase. There would be less of the stigma about free or reduced or paid. When you look at these 9 schools, their participation rate at breakfast is very high. So I think it would be probably would just feed more children.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other? Dr. Ogletree.
I want to direct this to Dr. Macias. Would you go over the criteria for children at risk? I'll read their reports when they present them. For some reason, our schools don't fare that well on their reports. And what are they doing different?
And you're correct, Dr. O. We're always, I guess, surprised when we see the ratings that come up. And this is the first year that they actually use the letter grade. But we have schools who have been recognized or exemplary in the previous accountability system for years, and they're not ranking in the like the A or even sometimes the B. But what they're using, basically the overall criteria is they look at, as I said, the commended scores, not just passing, tax, or star scores. They're looking at commended scores or the advanced level 3, which is the new commended version of the STAR test. They look at the national tests such as SATs and SAT and ACTs. They look at advanced coursework, so dual language or not dual credit courses or AP courses that are being taken in the district. They look at attendance rates and graduation rates, and they take into account the number of economically disadvantaged students that a campus has. And that's actually the criteria that gets the most points of any of the other criteria, the number of economic disadvantaged students that you have. And then they look at growth in reading and in math, comparing from one year to the next. And then the average class size, as I said, that's kind of different as well. They look at the average class size, and they also assign points based on that.
Do they have a bias toward magnet or specialty schools also?
Actually, if you looked at the ranking that was in the paper, that's really what you saw there. You saw most of the magnet, like the School for Health Science Professions and HISD. So the choice schools, you saw them ranking much higher than the other high schools. That's correct.
Could I make a couple of comments, Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
It's whatever study that you look at, and the Education Resource Group, who I mentioned earlier, which measures the 200 largest school districts in the state of Texas, and was actually by former House Education Chairman Eisler, just in the last session, the House Ed Chairman wanted to make this the law of the land. Let me just read some statistics from their report, which is totally independent. We don't pay a dime into them, so we're not even a participating member. But in 2012, Cy-Fair achieved 3,590 more students at Met Standard than projected, 2,675 more students at Commended than projected, spent $161 million less than projected to achieve those results. Cy-Fair had graduated 180 more students out of a pool of 6,900 students than was expected. Cy-Fair is number one in the state in the ERG Education Productivity Index. Cy-Fair, these are their words, Cy-Fair generates high academic outcomes at low cost, and it says, how can Cy-Fair be a model to other districts in Texas? So that's another independent organization that we do not subscribe to. So.
Mr. Jackson?
You know, I'd like to make a comment just for the patrons of the district to understand some of the things that we've done. Members of your board made 2 separate trips to Austin to meet with legislators. I'm well known for using up my word quota, so I had to make a couple of extra trips. I went down once with members of management, but also members of the chamber to meet with our legislative delegation. I also attended once as a guest, supposedly a non-speaking guest with members of the CLC, but for those of you who know me best, non-speaking means different things to different people. I do want to say thank you to the Chamber for their support of House Bill number 5, as well as the members of the CLC. Our legislative delegation has indicated the CLC is, in fact, a force that can lend its support to issues and urge the passage of those issues, and I appreciate that. The CLC has been very significant in that regard. I would also like to say thank you to Senator Patrick for his very firm stand, saying that in this discussion we can disagree, but we must be factually based. I appreciate that. In addition, our legislative delegation in the House, in particular with Representatives Caligari, Fletcher, and Harless, they were very strong supporters of House Bill 5, but also looking to reduce the funding inequity. And clearly Representatives Bohawk and Representative Elkin, they put their shoulder to the passage of House Bill 5 with an eye to reducing equity. I know the funding gap has narrowed tremendously. We lost a little ground on that, so it didn't close quite as much as we were hopeful that it would have, as other of our districts determined that the allocation needed to be shifted a little more in their direction, and certainly I appreciate that viewpoint. But it is important to recognize that our legislative delegation did in fact step up and say, let's try and do the right thing for education as much as possible, but also to the patrons of the district who responded and helped support the effort. So thank you.
Could I say one thing more, Mr. Covey?
Certainly.
I'm sorry, and I know the hour.
Don't be sorry. It's good stuff. Go ahead.
I know the hour is late, but I just want the general public to know that the secret to Cy-Fair's success is universal public education. We don't have specialty campuses, magnet campuses, or anything like that. We try to make sure the quality at the east, west, north, and south end of the district is equal. And when students don't meet the expected outcomes, then we find ways to try to help them succeed. We don't send them on their way if their parents are not committed enough or if the students aren't succeeding. They're ours. And we care for them, and we try to make sure that they are successful. So the real secret to Cy-Fair is that we try to make sure that we offer universal public education no matter where you are within our district. So, sorry.
No. That's exactly what I wanted to say, but thank you. I'm kidding. Yeah. Also, during the course of the Committee of the Whole meeting, it was the consensus of the board that the following action items be approved as submitted or amended. Action items A, the board will consider awarding bids and contracts and or authorizing purchase orders for the following items: bank depository services, cafeteria tables, event staff contract labor, musical instruments and equipment, portable building removal and relocation, portable building walkway canopy installations, point-of-sale hardware upgrade, point-of-sale back office and nutrient analysis software upgrade, refrigerated trucks for food service, school buses, special education therapy services, touch math teaching materials. B, the board will consider approving construction proposals and contracts paid from bond funds to the recommended contractors and authorize the superintendent or designee to execute all necessary documents related to such contracts as follows. Package H, 2012, miscellaneous renovations at Food Production Center and Maintenance Center. Package C, 2013, miscellaneous renovations to Cypress Springs High School. C, the board will consider approving the advanced courses for 2013-2014. D, the board will consider approving the district advanced placement chemistry textbook recommendation for 2013-2014. E, the board will consider approving the budget amendments for a period of January 1st, 2013 through March 31st, 2013. F, the board will consider approving on second reading additions, deletions, or revision to district policies. 1, EFAA local instructional materials selection and adoption, a revise. G, the board will consider approving the tax refunds of $500 or greater for Cypress-Fairbanks ISD. H, the board will consider approving the corrected minutes of the March 7, 2013 regular meeting. I, the board will consider approving the minutes of the April 4th, 2013 special call meeting. J, the board will consider approving the minutes of the April 8th, 2013 regular meeting. And K, the board will consider approving the minutes of the May 6th, 2013 special called meeting. On Thursday, the following non-consensus items were placed on the consensus agenda. And just for those that are tuning in, we did go over all of the consent items on Thursday night. 6A, the board will consider approving the superintendent's contract recommendations for school year 2013-14 of administrators, non-teaching professionals, paraprofessionals, and teachers to issue probationary term and annual contracts. B, the board will consider approving an update on the district's hazardous traffic conditions resolutions which, pursuant to TEA requirements for the district to receive supplemental transportation funding, defines hazardous traffic conditions applicable to the district and identifies the specific hazardous areas which exist. C, the board will consider authorizing the superintendent or designee to negotiate and execute the interlocal government agreement between Harris County Municipal Utility District number 167 and Cypress-Fairbanks ISD for the providing of funds for the installation of landscaping and irrigation at Sheridan Elementary School and Thornton Middle School. D, the board will consider authorizing the superintendent or designee to negotiate and execute the interlocal government agreement between Harris County Municipal Utility District number 167 and the Cypress-Fairbanks ISD for providing of funds for the installation of landscaping and irrigation at Cypress Lakes High School. If any board member wishes to remove one or more items for further discussion, please do so at this time. If not, I will entertain a motion to approve the consensus items as recommended or amended.
I so move.
Thank you, Ms. McGoy. I've got a motion. I got a second.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan.
And
All
Mr.
in favor,
Covey,
please
before
raise
you-
your right
Mr.
hand.
Mr. Covey, before
What
you
did I do?
vote, well, before you vote, I didn't know if you wanted to discuss, and we do have a member from MUD 167 here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
and
I did
think you were
forget that we were going to do that. Excuse me.
And I
Hold
think
the vote,
he's
everybody.
been sitting here patiently. Oh, did he leave? Oh. I couldn't see. Okay, sorry. Rewind. I couldn't
Yeah,
see.
Marty, you're out of order.
Sorry. Yeah. Point of order. Sorry.
You've been waiting to see.
Okay. I know. All in favor, raise your right hand. And that's unanimous. Okay.
Mr. Covey?
Yes.
Even though he's not here, just for the minutes, could we have Roy say
I
a little
think that's
something
great,
about
Roy.
MUD
or
167?
I
just-
think it'd be great to even ask him personally, Mike, and we'll have him first on the agenda in June.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that's okay, we'd request maybe doing a recognition item and then can ask the board to come back and recognize them. But I did want to point out that the generosity of this MUD tonight with the approval of this item totals $244,200 for these two items over 3 campuses. And Marnie and I were trying to figure out how much this MUD has actually contributed, but we think it's well in excess of over $400,000 to support improvements at their campuses. And we greatly appreciate the MUD support with MUD 167, and Brad Gainey was here. I think he had some Boy Scouts with him, and I think they probably had to go back and go do some studying. So we apologize for not bringing that to your attention earlier tonight.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Roy.
You're welcome.
The board will consider a Level 3 appeal of a Level 2 decision denying a public complaint filed by Mr. Dangerfield and Ms. Atkins. The presenter on Thursday evening was Teresa Hall and Christina Perez. Can I have a motion?
Mr. President, I move that the board uphold the decision made at level 2 by the administration.
Do I have a second? Second. Ms. Hartley, did you want to make a statement?
Oh, I just wanted to say that since I was unable to attend the hearing, I'll be abstaining.
Thank you. All in favor, raise your right hand. That'll be unanimous. Okay, the board will have a discussion on the following. The board will discuss, are we doing this in closed session?
That was last
Well, that's last time, okay. We will now go on to the superintendent's briefing portion of the agenda. Dr. Henry will make comments and provide information on the following topics.
Thank you, Mr. President, board members. In 1962, President John F. Kennedy signed a proclamation which designated May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day, and the week in which that date falls is Police Week. And so that's May 10th through 17th, and I know Chief Bragg is back here, and we have one of our officers back here, so certainly we appreciate all of our men and women who serve as peace officers. District facilities will be closed on Monday, May 27th. Believe it or not, it's Memorial Day holiday, just 2 weeks away, as we pause to remember those who have given their lives for our freedom. The last day of classes for the 2012-13 academic year is Wednesday, June 5th. Thursday, June 6th is a professional day for district employees. I hope all of our students, teachers, administrators, support personnel, and community volunteers a well-deserved, restful, and safe summer vacation. All CFISD graduation ceremonies will be held at the Berry Center June 5th through June 8th. We are very proud of our more than 7,000 graduating seniors and certainly wish them the best as they pursue their college and career aspirations. The schedule for this year's graduation ceremonies, as well as parking information, can be accessed on the district webpage at www.cfisd.net. Tickets are required and will be issued to the graduating seniors. We encourage parents and guests to carpool due to the large attendance expected. Traffic on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday will be extremely heavy on Barker Cypress. If you are participating in the graduations, please allow extra time for travel and parking. For those family members who will not be able to attend, the graduations will be broadcast live on Channel 16. The first secondary summer school session for original credit will be June 17th through July 11th, and the second session will be July 15th through August 7th. High school locations are Cy Lake, Cy Ranch, Cy Woods, Jersey Village, and Langham Creek. Middle school locations are Campbell and Kayla. Information on elementary general and special education, bilingual, and ESL makeup credit, summer camps, and other summer programs can be accessed on www.cfisd.net through the calendar or the quick links. Summer school graduation is scheduled for August 7th at 7 p.m. at the Berry Center. From June 14th through August 9th, all district facilities and campuses will be closed on Fridays. Employees will work 10-hour days Monday through Thursday. Closing the buildings will accomplish a cost savings and allow for a 3-day weekend over a period of 9 weeks. I believe this allows us to maximize productivity while giving the staff some flexibility during the summer. On Monday, May 6th at 7 p.m., the district recognized our Spotlight teachers, one selected from each campus during the 2012-13 school year. This special called board meeting took place at the Berry Center. Also during the Spotlight recognition, the paraprofessional and ancillary Spotlight employee winners were recognized for their contributions to the district. This event was taped and can be viewed on the website. The Cy-Fair Educational Foundation will hold the 25th annual B.F. Golf Classic on May 16th at Black Horse Golf Club, which is this Thursday. Proceeds from this event help provide scholarships for Cy-Fair students. For information, visit www.thecfef.org. Thank you, Mr. President.
Dr. Henry, on the graduations, and I know it's on Channel 16, is there also streaming online if they don't have Channel 16?
We did last year. Is that true this year, Harold?
It will
Yes.
be again, yes.
Okay, so there is streaming online. Yes.
Mark, have we recognized the fact that our board president has recently been elected a board member of the Gulf Coast Association of School Board Directors?
Well, I guess we have now. Congratulations, Mr. Covey.
I appreciate it. I just don't think anybody else wanted it, but that's okay. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you for coming.